What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, like, comment, comment and subscribe, and you'll automatically enter yourself into a giveaway if you follow what I say and whatever. Just do everything in the first link in the description box down below. Today what we're going to be doing is what I actually do for clients here. If you're local in Montreal, I'm going to be tinting the tail lights on my car. They're red. I don't know why I hesitated to do them for so long, but I'm going to do that today, as well as wrapping a front piece on my bumper in the front in carbon fiber. We're going to be changing these tail lights. We're going to be doing a light smoke from Vivid, and basically all you're going to be needing for this is something to kneel on, so something soft, a light if you need to see, an extension cord, the heat gun obviously, this bag of stuff like anyways, this is going to be linked down below, like some microfiber towels, some cleaning products, a mix of isopropyl alcohol and whatever, and your tint. Oh, and you need patience. You need a lot of patience. One thing worth mentioning, if you ever call me for my services, or if you're planning to do this yourself, try as much as you can to be in a wind-free and rain or water-free zone, because whatever gets behind the wrap is it's actually impossible to get out, except water. Water you could squeegee out, but dust, forget about it. You're gonna need a new wrap. So the way I situated myself is I'm somewhat under my garage where I could work comfortably. I have enough space on each side to work and move around as I need. Last thing worth mentioning is also, typically speaking, each car, you could buy sheets of 1 foot by 5 feet. It would be sufficient to do like traditional, like regular lights, like let's say mine. It would be enough to do both lights. But if you're planning even to do reflectors and all that stuff, just be careful how you cut and be a bit more cautious and frugal with the way you're cutting, so you could save more wrap. I think that's everything, so let's get started. Alright, so first things first, I have my alcohol and water mix and a microfiber towel. I'm going to spray on the microfiber towel, and I'm going to go over the whole light and surrounding areas just to make sure it is clean 100%. Also inside, and I'm going to take some sort of a tool of some sort, like a plastic pry tool, and I'm going to use it to press all alongside inside the edges here, so that I know 100% that it's even clean in there. Now pass over everything with a new microfiber towel just to make sure there's no lint or any other dust particles or anything at all that is left on the light, because that will show and leave like a little point when you're done wrapping. So now we're going to take our wrap. Okay, so this is my light smoke tint wrap from Vivid, the best option to avoid any trouble on the road by any pigs. So what we're going to do is kind of measure it up here, and you want to leave like an inch gap on each side. And the way I work is I also tuck in the corners on the inside so that it's extra clean. Some guys on YouTube, you see them just placing it on the light even with the trunk closed, and then they just cut a line through the middle here. I prefer to just wrap it inside so it's extra, how do you say, safe, whatever the word is. So put this like this, making sure to have about an inch gap on the side here, and see where I need to cut, and then cut my line. I'll be cutting this using this tool. It's really easy. You just pull and it cuts straight through the wrap, so it's really nice. Now I cut this in such a way that this small piece, I'll be able to use it right here, and I won't have any problems, and I'll be just good enough for wrap. I'm gonna start by working on the flattest edge, so this right here, and I'm gonna be working my way inwards towards the trunk. Kind of just use my finger until it starts to curve. Now leave it like that, and then just gently pull this back until it wraps around. And see, I even cut too much, so I'm going to cut this off. If ever I need to do a reflector or something, I have a bit of extra. Never putting my fingers directly behind the part of the light that's going to be wrapped. Pull this back, and this is my first edge. So I'm going to heat the wrap up just enough because I'm gonna pull in both directions. I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna pull down at the same time and wrap it around my light. I didn't do it properly, so pull that back. What's cool about this wrap is that it's you could just heat it back up and it goes back to its memory, which is really helpful a lot of the time. Just heat it up. So start by pulling back very gently and start to just heat up my area, make it nice and soft. And now just pull back in opposite ends. And now go over the light. If there's any bubbles, make sure to squeegee them out with your hand and force all the bubbles out as much as you can. Just like that. So now at this point the light is pretty much done. I'm just gonna go over all the edges, heat them up so that I see that there's no pullback. Like up here I see some pullback, so that means it might peel there. So I'm gonna heat it up until it adapts to the light, so that there is no more peel back. Alright, so now that you've gone along all the edges and there's no pullback, so they're all pretty much flat like this. This I have to work on a little bit, so there's a bit of pullback. So I'm gonna have to fix that just momentarily off camera, I guess. Went around all the edges, and the way I'm gonna cut now, because I'm gonna cut on the car, but the knife on the paint without scratching the paint. I'm not cutting the paint, I'm gliding the knife along the paint line so that I could wrap it around the light after. I am not going to scratch the car by any means. I'm simply just working around it. So, I mean, so far it's kind of cool. It's like a nice smoked out tint versus the super red over here. So it's quite a difference, I must say. Now, taking my very, very sharp X-Acto knife, if it isn't sharp enough, break off one of these edges and, you know, now you have a fresh piece. So what I'm going to be doing is, just to show you guys, the light is still nice and hot, I'm gonna be piercing and very, very gently rubbing like that along the paint of the car, so that I have enough space around that I could cut and wrap around the light itself. Now to see where we're at, we're gonna peel back, but we're gonna peel back away from the light, so that there's no problems. And then when you have, you know, excess, just cut it off like that and put it aside. For doing the interior piece, I like to go around this edge first with heat and using one of my felt squeegees and just go around the edge. Tricky little corners like this that it's very tight, I could also use some sort of a plastic pry tool, and I just go around the edge again with a heat. Alright, so for the first light, we went all around the edges. We tucked them all in very, very nicely. Actually, I'm surprised. This corner I didn't even need to use the plastic pieces, which is nice. But yeah, all along the edges, they're all super, super clean. Everything is tucked in, and hey, it looks really nice. I'm really, really happy with that, actually. The inside pieces. Now, what I like to do is these corners, they're very, very tricky, I guess you could say. So what I like to do is I heat this up, and I pull it around, and I try to conform it around this corner so it uses its memory within the wrap to really go inside this corner and conform to it. Do it up until where the light ends. So this line here, this black line, I follow it and I cut a line afterwards there. Boom. Alright, so now that the whole light is done, I go over all the edges with the heat gun again. And if there's any tricky areas, what I do is I heat my felt squeegee up directly, and then I press it on the piece of vinyl, and that's like me heat pressing it so that it doesn't peel back. So I'm going to do that on the areas like up here, there was some peeling before, and I'm going to do the interior of the light and wherever else I was a bit unsure about. And right off the bat, look at the difference. This is our light smoke tint from Vivid. This is a bare light. Anyways, let's get that piece that I cut before, this one right here, and we're gonna do the same process right now. Finished the inside tail light. Came out pretty good. Honestly, at this point, you get the idea. This isn't a CK Raps video that it's a 40-minute video to show you the same thing 4 times. There's no point to that. One thing I have to say is that if you have painter's tape and you have it available, I would put it around the edge here, the black edge, and so that it's when you're putting the wrap on top, it doesn't get stuck to the tape, as opposed to like getting stuck to the paint itself. It won't get stuck to the tape, so it's going to be easier for you to wrap around these edges, and you're going to have less pullback. So I'm going to do that on this side, put you guys in a time lapse, because quite frankly it's very, very simple. It's just repetitive. So let me sit you guys down and let's get to finishing this up so that we can move on to the front bumper. That is dark. I'm not used to it, but it's nice. It's like a nice subtle color, you know? Like it's not too dark. It's nice and subtle. Let's get this in the sun. I'm curious to see in the sun. Now it's definitely different. This is weird. Oh my god, I need to clean the car. It's so dirty. But dude, holy moly. It's I'm not used to this. It's very dark. But anyways, this is how it's done. This is how you tint taillights in the back of your car. Super easy and with even limited tools. Now, let's forget about this. Let's skip to tomorrow where we work on the front bumper. Alright, so this is what we're working with here. We got dry carbon, it's fake obviously, and shiny carbon. Now this shiny I wanted to put on the interior. That's what I was thinking in mind, so I have enough to do that. Okay, but if if I had to absolutely do both in gloss carbon, that's fine. I could just order another one, that doesn't matter. But here, I kind of almost want it to be subtle. I don't want it to be too shiny, too flashy. So I was thinking dry carbon was the way to go, but then dry wasn't gonna match with the gloss real carbon that's here, and then wasn't gonna match with the spoiler in the back, and back and forth. I think I'm just gonna send it and just stick with the dry carbon for now. If I don't like it, that's fine. I could just change it up at any point in time. Let's clean this up with alcohol and water, and let's get to wrapping. So, what do you guys think? Is it a no-go? Is it nice? Like, I honestly have no idea. Like, I'm looking at it, it's alright, but I feel like I can't say more than that. Like, it's just, it's alright. But anyways, this is the car. This is what it looks like. I guess now there's less going on in the front. It's more blacked out, but I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section down below. Oh, and one last thing, if you missed it, guys, I'm selling these sequential turning signal lights. So if you guys want anything, like, let me know down in the comment section down below, or hit me up directly on Instagram at djens19. I'm even selling the white LED lights that are on the license plate in the back. So if you guys want those or anything at all, just let me know. I could work something up for you guys. Alright, that's a close for today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Remember, the driver drives you, and I'll be catching you guys all in the next video. We'll be working on this. Peace.
I might sip out this bottle until it get hollow. Shit, I might sip out this bottle, just drowning my sorrows. Drowning my sorrows, be better tomorrow. Cause these broken dreams is as hard as it gets. My nigga died at only 25.